going to talk about the IMF. According to IMF's new report, titled The Global Financial Stability Report, this was published on Tuesday, the IMF is calling for new standards and regulations around cryptocurrencies, namely stablecoins, saying that the assets, transfers, custodianship, etc., of stablecoins and other cryptocurrencies needs to be standardized in order to protect the financial system. This comes on the heels of the IMF saying that they're expecting global growth of all economies to slow down over the next few years, around 3%, based on current conditions with tightening of economies and like the currency crisis and things like that. What do I see in this whole picture? What do I see in like this whole IMF report is that banks are starting to take these things a little bit more seriously. So I actually don't see this as a negative headline. IMF, obviously a very large international body, and they're going to have an interest in seeing how these currencies that are now moving around the world are going to be issued and see if they are stable. A lot of these headlines, I think people were looking at in the past, probably thinking like IMF might try to ban stable coins, or international bodies like the G7, G20 are going to try to ban stable coins or cryptocurrencies. Seems like they've kind of capitulated, and now they're just calling for regulation. Wendy, I'll throw it over to you for your take.
I actually like that they're calling for regulation, and I feel that there's no reason why every single country is not pushing, like has some sort of regulation. I feel like we've had enough time to do so. And I really feel like the public servants just need to kind of understand that the crypto community is willing to compromise. Like I feel like myself, I'm willing to compromise. Like tell me how much taxes I need to pay. Tell me what I can and can't do. And I feel like a lot of other people, especially a lot of these business owners, a lot of these entrepreneurs, they want the same thing. They want to know what can I do and what can I do. So I'm not understanding why it's so hard to get regulation. But at the same time, I feel like these people, the public servants, they want to have all of the power. And I get that. But at the same time, they're not going to be able to. With decentralized finance and with crypto, people can create these systems. They can create these products. And they're not able to be stopped. And I feel like the public servants just kind of need to understand that and work with us to where we could come up with some sort of happy medium. Zach?
Yeah. I forget who said it, but right, like, regulation needs a throat to choke, right? And that's why DeFi is potentially quite scary to some of these things, right? Because there's no one really to go after and sue and drag into court and say, hey, what are you doing, right? And so I think stablecoin issuers really are that throat to choke, as identified by regulators and those who in the crypto community are worried about regulatory capture, right? Stablecoins have dollar reserves backing many of them. They sit in a bank in the real world somewhere, and those banks can be hauled into court by governments worldwide, and we can face problems with what's arguably, or ostensibly at least, a decentralized system, right? And so that is the thing that's animated the whole quest for like algorithmic stablecoins, the whole thing about UST being away from this system that could be impacted by declarations such as this. And so it makes sense that this is kind of where I think regulators are focusing their energies, right? Like if this is something that's going to touch the banking system, and it's something that potentially has cascading effects for people in the real world who may need consumer protection, of course they're going to go after this part of the crypto economy. And it's something that I think crypto people are cognizant of and are trying to think about ways to participate in, to like Wendy's point, but also to build systems that sort of do an end run around this whole conversation, right? So again, I'm really curious to see what comes out of like this Arthur Hayes, like Bitcoin backed stablecoin thing, right? Here's a product that has found like product market fit. But the fact that it's like most of these stablecoins are basically administered by like pseudo banks makes it risky for a decentralized system that people in the industry say they're trying to build. So that's what like maybe is the subtext here, but who knows?
But I feel like if we had some sort of regulation and guidelines, then we can kind of like do the crypto thing, and then we can also do the non-crypto thing and work together to create things that don't break. So whose fault is it really? Like, I like Arthur Hayes too. I think he's an absolute legend. But at the same time, it's like there's going to be problems with things until people can like learn to work together. So yeah, that's my take.
Yeah,
I don't know, Wendy. I mean, I'm pro SEC there.
I'm not pro. Hey, are you poking the bear right now? Are you poking the bear? I'm not pro SEC. Listen, I would be pro SEC if Gary Gensler stepped down and was held accountable for his actions, because honestly, he has done nothing but waste taxpayers' time and money. He's literally meeting with one of the biggest fraudsters in the world, and he still has a job. Like, I wish that I could make like $200,000 a year, whatever it is he makes, and not do my job, do a horrible job, and get paid, have a great pension, living my best life. Like, I wish I could be that. I'm a little bit jealous here. Not going to lie.
Interesting. Okay. So I guess you're not going to be applying to that lawyer position, even if we spun up a JD for you real quick.
I should. You know what? I wanted to be a lawyer when I was little, and then I probably should go back to school to do it just because I'm really, really petty and apply for the job. That would be absolutely epic.
All right. We're going to hold you to that. It sounds like a good scheme.